So we've got the news, we've got tax season, and Murr's still trying to get a routine after 20-some years. So let's talk about that. It's I Should Be Writing, episode 29, season 18.
But I should be writing. I should be working on my craft. I should be writing. I should be submitting my next draft. But I'm sitting home watching Doctor Who.
And hi there, welcome to I Should Be Writing. We're the podcast for wannabe fiction writers. I say we, but I'm the only one here. My name is Mur Lafferty. I am an author and a podcaster and an editor, and I've been doing this show since 2005 when I was a podcaster, but I wasn't any of the other things. Well, published anyway. I wrote a script and I'm still messing it up. Anyway, I've been doing this show since I hadn't sold a thing, and now I'm working on my 8th book while my 7th book is in production to come out in October. So if you need to know any opinions about how to deal with all that crap that your brain is telling you when you don't want to write, come here, because that's what we talk about. And other things, too. Unfortunately, yesterday I had a whole bunch of stuff going on, and some meetings, and a stream, and then I didn't prioritize my writing. I couldn't really. I could have canceled my stream, I suppose, but there were other things that absolutely had to be done. So, no writing yesterday, and today I had a first thing in the morning doctor's appointment, and then I rushed home when we streamed the Hugo stuff, and then, which I haven't mentioned yet because I forgot that we hadn't mentioned it yet since. So good at this. Yeah, so the Hugo finalist ballot were announced today, and I'm very proud and excited to say that Escape Pod is up for semi-prozine again, and ISBW and I are also nominated for Best Short Form Editor. And we came in second last year, and it was like a tight second. We almost beat Ellen Datlow. And I wasn't surprised to see Escape Pod come in 4th for semi-prozine, but I was flat out flabbergasted. When we were leaving the room, our assistant editor, Ben, had already gone to look at the numbers, and he grabbed me. He's like, are you the kind of person that wants to know the numbers or not? And I'm like, I want to know the numbers. And he says, like, we were this close to beating Ellen Datlow. It required the very confusing Hugo math to finally give it to Datlow. So, that was a thrill. But yeah, we're nominated again in both categories. And we're very proud to have on the ballot with us this year. We got Preemie, because she started this year with assistant editor. We're having Valerie Valdez, Kids Are Asleep, and Chat also on the ballot with us, because she's been doing editor stuff, kind of shadow editor stuff, because Divya didn't want to announce her exit from the podcast. But Valerie's been with us. I don't even know when you came on, but it was in 2021. And, Brent Lambert. Or is it Lambert? Does he pronounce the T? I'm not sure. Okay. Thank you, Kids Are Asleep. Started in December. Yes, Brent Lambert or Lambert, from usually, I worked on Spaya, but also he joined editorial to do Black Future Month in October. And so he was in charge of the podcast for, the month of October. And so our ballot, our entry, our finalist list is longer than before, but just adding more and more better people. It's great. So yeah. Anyway, we got Valerie and I and Ben got on a Meet call and live streamed the they kind of dumped all the stuff out immediately on Twitter, but we went through it slowly and gave various opinions. polite opinions. None of us said, oh, they shouldn't be on there, but, cheered for the stuff we knew. I was delighted that my, why don't I have it with me? Do I have it in here? Yes, I was delighted that my cover artist got nominated for Best Pro Artist. Will Stale? I am butchering everybody's name today. In my defense, it's got like 3 vowels for a 1-syllable word. So, yeah. So, very, very excited for him. And maybe he'll go to Chicago and I can shake his hand because it's a gorgeous cover. Same Daniel. When I looked at his site, suddenly it's like he has done V.E. Strauss covers, he's done Stephen King covers, he's done Michael, I don't know how to say his name either. Man, I can't say anything. Michael Chabon? Yeah, so he's done a lot of covers you will recognize, just not, his name is not up there with like, oh great, now I can't think of anybody else's name. Big fantasy artist guy did, I don't know. Chabon, thank you, Christian Writing. Whelan, yes, I believe that's who I'm thinking of, Whelan. Thank you, Daniel. But you will have recognized a lot of his stuff. He's done Sarah Gailey covers. He did the Echo Wife. So, yeah, he's been around. He does this stuff. I'm very glad he's getting attention. So that is both my good news and the reason why I'm a bit scatterbrained today. So I'm hoping to get some work done afterwards, but I say that a lot, and I always underestimate how much streaming takes out of me. Because usually when I'm done with the stream, I'm done for the day, but can't really afford that today because my deadline is coming up. And the book's not done. So anyway, that's what I've been up. That's my big, long explanation of why I haven't been writing the past 2 days. But hope to be fixing that in the future. I may need Kids Are Asleep's help. She doesn't know this. This is the first I've mentioned it. So we'll talk about that later. But good news is we got our taxes and it wasn't bad. And Divya and I and Escape Pod got Hugo nominations. Or Hugo finalists, because anybody can get a nomination. You just nominate in the nomination period. They get tetchy about it. Officially, we are Hugo finalists, which is awesome. And I'm very much looking forward to Chicago. Our only hiccup is Numbers Ninja needs to go back to school that week. And Numbers Ninja wants to come to Worldcon, which is great. I mean, I love having her around. Just, we're trying to figure out the logistics of getting her and her crap to school, moving her in, and then going to Worldcon. But anyway, now I'm just getting into pointless stuff. Do y'all have any good news? If you're new to the stream, we like to talk about good news here. We usually talk about writing, but if you have other good news, we'll be happy for you. And also, we consider rejection good news because only working writers get rejected. So if it sucks, no, not if it sucks. We know it sucks. Rejections are awful, but they do mean you're doing your job in being a working writer, and you're taking hits that you will survive, and you're taking hits that a lot of other people are too scared to take. Okay. Kids Are Asleep. First book earned out. That's fantastic. Congratulations. May you have many royalty checks in your future. My editor approved my Savick Firefighters in Space idea. I love that. HS Valley. That's fantastic. Starred Green. 2 more rejections. Congratulations. Team rejections count goes up. We're up to 141 for team rejection in 2022. Very proud of everybody. I'm meeting Emily St. John Mandel in person next week. Wow, Hildy Eric. That's awesome. That's really great. I love her work. Hey, Phased Out. I was thinking about you today, Phased Out, because I thought we haven't heard from you, and I realized, well, you were getting married, and I couldn't remember when exactly you did. you were planning on it, but I figured that was probably why we hadn't seen you. So congratulations, Phased Out, on your wedding, and many, many years of marital bliss to you. Congratulations, that's awesome. Let's see, Lidropod, hello. Working on a new audiobook. Can't say anything else yet, but I'm very excited. That's great. We're happy with that. Meerkat's birthday was yesterday. I baked myself some bread. Fantastic. Happy birthday. So yay button all around to everybody. So much good news today. It's awesome. Thank you for sharing your good news with me, guys. Phased Out, do you have a trip planned, or are you holding off because of COVID uncertainty, or what? Shards had some further back. I'm sorry, Shards, what did I miss? Shard says, rather good news, my mom didn't have to stay overnight at the hospital when she went to the ER, and things may not be as bad as she feared. That's great. That's fantastic. Been there. So yeah, if you have good news and you want to tell me live, we stream Tuesdays, Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, or you can email me with good news in the subject line, and I'll read it on the next show. So thank you all for sharing your good news with me. I appreciate it. It makes my day better. So, to the main point. We'll talk about the exciting stuff first. The Hugo nominations went up, and the Hugo finalists, I did it again. Went up, and there are just some amazing things being nominated here. I'm going to scroll through a little bit, and just point out some of the... Unfortunately, I'm not up on new authors, so congratulations to all the Astounding Award nominees. I need to check out their stuff. Lodestar. Let's see. We got Charlie Jane Anders, her first of 3 mentions on the ballot. Victory's Greater Than Death. Darcy Little Badger, I believe she was nominated last year. I don't remember what, but Snake Falls to Earth. Naomi Novik. Naomi Kritzer, and Siren J. Zhao. I don't know if I said that right. I apologize. And Jordan Ifueko. Jordan was also on the ballot last year, and possibly the best dressed one at the Hugos. She was unbelievably gorgeous. She was dressed all in gold. It was amazing. I don't think I got a picture of her. What's wrong with me? I need to get a picture with her this year. Fan artists, I don't know a lot of the names, which is exciting. Shiren J. Zhao, thank you. Thank you, Kids Are Asleep. Thank you for the follow, JF Erickson. Oh, I missed Phased Out comment. Yeah, we are heading away in August. A trip centered around the International Discworld Convention. Nice. My buddy is an indie bookseller and YA aficionado. She's super jazzed for Iron Widow for Lodestar. Right, that was Shiren J. Zhao. I'm gonna get it. And Shiren J. Zhao is also up for the Astounding Award, so that's a big deal. Like, young adult book and on the Astounding ballot. I don't know a lot of the fan artists, which is great because that means more and more people are getting recognized. Fan writer, I know some of their works, but I belong to Jason Sanford's... I belong to his Patreon and get his Genre Grapevine report, which is definitely worth it if you like any of the news tidbits. And this is not like someone got a big deal. It's more of what people are talking about on Twitter. He broke the fact that there was a bunch of people discussing how to bring down cities in the Bane forums back when there were a lot of racially charged riots going on in 2020. It was just like a little hotbed where people were talking about murder and bringing down cities and stuff, and no one cared. And then Jason broke it open. And then, of course, he got harassed and threatened and everything, and It was an ugly scene, but he was brave enough to post that. And Paul Weimer is a friend and excellent photographer, and I believe he's also on Fancast. I'm not going to go through everything, but I'm just going to point out the things that get me excited. The Full Lid by Alistair Stewart and Marguerite Kenner. That's Al's magazine, fanzine that he puts out. It's nominated again. Congratulations, Alistair. Unofficial Hugo Book Club is a Twitter account. Recommended. Best semi-prozine is pretty standard. I mean, I feel Escape Pod... Podcastle is new on the ballot. I think Fi has been nominated a couple of years, Escape Pod. And then Beneath Ceaseless Skies, Strange Horizons, and Uncanny, and... Oh, that was it. That was everybody. Faya, Escape Pod, yeah. Yeah, okay. Right, so Pro Artist, again, very happy to see my artist on there. Also cool, the Best Editor short form has been broken up a little bit. I still feel like Divi and I are newcomers. Also 2 other newcomers to the ballot. We were the only newcomers last year. So now we've got 3 relatively new people on the ballot. And it's not so white anymore, which is also good. So excited to see what comes out of that. Best Dramatic Presentation short form. I'm bummed that the Garages did not make it on here with one of their albums. I still believe in them and love their music. But it is a wide variety of things, and that makes me happy. It's not like all The Expanse or all Doctor Who. It's got The Wheel of Time, For All Mankind, Arcane, The Expanse, Loki, and Star Trek Lower Decks. I love that show. I freaking love that show. Dramatic Presentation, Dune, Encanto, The Green Knight, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Space Sweepers, and WandaVisions. Space Sweepers is the only thing I haven't seen, and I've heard it's really good, so I should get out there and watch it. As it turns out, murder is bad. Specifically, what are you referring to, Daniel? Arcade, I think, should win. Lower Decks is awesome, and I love that it's been nominated. Yeah, how did we not talk about that the other night? Devo Spice was in town, and so we had dinner the other night. Yes, I was actually sad to see that Space Sweepers was just a movie and not a show, because I've heard so many good things about it. I'm like, I only get 2 hours? Gee. Related work. Being Seen, One Deafblind Woman's Flight to End Ableism. Elsa Schudenson. Elsa is on fire right now. She is just... Her career is just taken off, and I'm so happy for her. It's awesome. Her related work, her editing, it's been covered on PBS, I think. I think she's writing some comics. I believe she was the first blind person to write Daredevil, which seems kind of messed up, but I'm very proud of her and happy that she was able to do it. Charlie Jane Anders' second mention, Never Say You Can't Survive. Graphic story or comic looks pretty standard. Kieran Gillian's on there twice. Deservedly, Once and Future and Die. And Monstrous again. Monstrous, I think it's been on every year it's been in print. It won at least once. Best series. Now this one's going to be tough, because these are all amazing. So we got Fond du Lis with the Greenbone Saga. The Kingston Cycle by C.L. Polk. Merchant Princess by Charlie Stross. Terra Ignota by Ada Palmer. Wayward Children by Shauna McGuire. And The World of the White Rat by T. Kingfisher, also known as Ursula Vernon. So yeah, those are... Usually I've only heard of 1 or 2 of the other series. But I've heard of all of those. Or read many of them. So that's going to be a tough category. Anyway, so now when we get to the short story, novelette, and novella, don't think I've read any of these, so I got work to do. I do have Song for the Wild Built. I have it right there. It's over there. Just trust me. That's Becky Chambers. Becky Chambers is on here twice, I think. Anyway. And novel is Desolation Called Peace, Arcady Martin. She won last year. Right? No. Dang. I forget. She won for her first book. I don't know if it was last year or New Zealand. Time has no meaning right now. The Galaxy and the Ground Within, also Becky Chambers. Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki. Her first book, A Master of Jinn by P. Jelly Clark. He's been on the ballot a lot and I don't think he's got a win yet, and he needs to. Project Hail Mary, Andy Weir, and She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. So there's just so much to be excited about and to read, and nice variety of peoples on making science fiction these days, and it's just absolutely wonderful. So yeah, I'm also really glad we don't have to wait till December for the Hugo ceremony, because that was a lot. Arcane was surprisingly good. I used to play League of Legends, so I was going to try it, but was surprised how much I liked it. Oh, cool. Oh, right. Sorry, Daniel. Okay. The murder being bad is when I was mentioning the Bane forums. Okay. Two of my all-time favorite series are in that category. I'd rather have to give up my firstborn than make that choice. Yeah. It's going to be tough. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Light from Uncommon Stars is next on my reading list. I think I got that one. Is that the one I'm thinking of? I'm awful with titles. Awful. Yes, I have that one. I got it when it came out. Haven't read it yet because I'm a monster. Or I have ADHD. Or I probably just should have gotten the audiobook. Anyway. I need to remember to mention this frequently. We are doing our book club now, officially. And next Tuesday, I need to be giving away copies of the book because it is One for All by Lily Lainoff. We're going to all read it, I hope. Read the book, and then we're going to have her on the evening, I think about 6 p.m., April 30th. And our goal is to talk about everything in the book, including spoilers. Anything you want to know how she did what she did, it's free reign. Because when I bring authors on here and we talk to them about their book, even if we talk about craft, we can't, you don't want to give away the end of the author's book. That doesn't seem fair. But for writers, it'd be nice to know how they chose the path they did. So this is the Spoilers Club group, and I hope people show up for it. Because it should be fun. And I'll do a giveaway next week. Should probably put a command on there too. Great. Okay, that's done. It's not our fault there's so many books we want to read. Need to be kind to ourselves when our TBRs grow faster than we can read. Thank you, Daniel. You're right. Hugo Type Awards are one of the few reasons I might query for a traditional publisher. Not that I'm good enough. You never know, Kit. Seriously. I was happy with how Six Wakes came out, but I did not believe in that it was award-nominated, award-worthy book. I mean, I had a food replicator build a pig. So that was, I really did not think that would be a thing. Yeah. Hope you can make it too. Yes, that would be awesome. So anyway, let's talk about money. It is tax season. And believe it or not, I got good news. Yes, I owe. And because I'm trying to make deposits into retirement accounts, even though I'm a freelancer, it's because I'm a freelancer. You can do this. You can have your own 401k. You can have your own self-employment fund. If you ever start making considerable money and not even, I mean, just like money, regular money, freelancing, and you don't have a day job, then consider it, because it's out there. You can do this. Ursula calls it sending money off to camp. Because when tax time comes around, they say you owe this. And also, you're allowed to put X amount into your 401k. And we try to do that, but it hurts, because it's like, we're already giving money to the IRS, and you're telling me I gotta give money over here. And Ursula's just like, it's just money. It's going off to camp. It's going off to money camp, and it'll come back, and it'll be happier. It'll be healthier. I'll have some stories. You'll get it back. That's what I try to tell myself. So what I did was, after a couple of poor planning years, I will always admit that I am very privileged in the fact that my husband has a day job, and that's where we get health insurance, and the stability for me to do this. And it is my ultimate goal to eventually make enough money so he can retire and I can take care of him for once. But what we did was we maxed out his withholding on his paycheck to help cover the fact that money comes into me, but the government gets none of it. And the government wants some of it. So if you start making money freelancing and you don't plan for taxes, you're going to have a really, really bad day. My husband did the part on his end to withhold as much as he can. And then I started putting 30% of my money aside. Everything that comes in. Patreon, advances, whatever. 30% just gets put aside. And I don't touch it. And this year, we just found out that we do owe, obviously, because like I said, I freelance, so I haven't paid any taxes on that money. But with the money that I get to send to camp and the money that I owe in taxes, all of that is still less than what I put aside. And it's like the clouds opened and the angels sang, because I have not had that good of news. I mean, it looks scary, because it's like, but it's already money that was put aside. So like, I adulted and it paid off, and I can't believe that. So I'm not here to gloat, but I want to talk about how you need to approach your career when you start making money. And it is vital to know that now. I know that this show is pointed towards newbies. And you're thinking, I'm never going to sell a story, or I'm not going to sell a story anytime soon. But you need to have this in your mind. Because you sell a couple of stories, you get the attention of a publisher, and then you get a $20,000 advance. And that's really exciting. And then, wait a minute, you need to pay tax. Maybe the government's not going to come after you on a $200 story, but they will come after you on a $20,000 advance. So just keep it in your mind. Just put it aside. I am not sponsored by the You Need a Budget app, but it has been some of the best money I've spent on adulting ever, because it finally made me understand how budgeting works, especially with a freelance income. So I just have an estimated taxes part of the budget, and I just shove money that way whenever I get paid. And thank goodness, because if we looked at those numbers without that set aside, it would be scary. But in my mind, I've already paid it, because I can't touch that money sitting there. So yeah, 30%. If I'm wrong and that's too much, then you win out in April. International folks, I don't know enough about other people's taxes. Other countries' taxes, I should say. I think 30% is probably safe to put aside. But I am not an accountant. I'm just saying what I did that worked. With my husband's help and withholding his paycheck more than he needed to, and me putting 30% aside, we more than covered both the 401k deposit and the taxes we owe. And so, yeah, it's amazing. So I feel like I need to go over this again, and I apologize if you guys have heard it, but it's evergreen material. Just to let you know how advances work. Number one, you don't have to pay back in advance. If you turn the book in and the book gets published, you don't have to pay it back. Even if you never, ever, ever earn out, you don't have to pay it back. But just take the round number. We'll take a $100,000 advance. No one's going to sneeze at that. That's not bad. It's awesome. It's great. It's huge. But most people have in their mind somebody handing you a $100,000 check. And that is not how it works. So it's split up. So first, you don't get $100,000 at all. You get 85 because your agent takes 15. They earn that. They do hard work. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that they earn it, but your $100,000 is not $100,000. It's 85. And then no publisher that I know of will give that to you in one hunk. The best I've ever had was Audible, which gave me like half on signing and half when I turned in the final draft. But other places do split it up a lot more. They'll split up, like you'll get a big chunk on signing, and then you'll get some with final draft and some with publication. And usually those things are far apart. And if you have a year like I had last year and had to keep doing rewrites, that delayed my final draft turning in payment. And that sucked. And now with what I'm saying about the taxes, even then, your 85 is an 85. It is whatever hunk the publisher decides to give you at signing. And then you look at that hunk and you think, well, let's say it's 10,000 because round numbers are easy for math. That's not 10,000. That's 7,000 because I really should not touch these three. I need to put them over here. So it's a weird thing to see somebody be a best-selling author or get a hot, big advance and them complain about money things because they probably have a reason to. Because also authors get paid twice a year. Most royalties come twice a year. For self-pub, obviously, they pay pretty much monthly. Self-pub people in chat can bring up whether I'm right or wrong, and they also do not take out taxes. So if you're doing self-pub, when you get your money every month, you need to be taking some out. So it's not fun. But I tell you what, as Don Cuervo says in tax, can confirm, do not recommend. It's not fun to take 30% out. But it's less fun. It's so much worse to get the bill for the money that you weren't responsible about. And it's hard because there's not a lot of, it's like authors think in words and we think in pictures and it's numbers are not usually our specialty. And yet we're asked to handle a lot more because if you have a day job, then your employer takes care of that, takes care of the Social Security and takes care of the 401k and all that. You don't have to look at your paycheck and go, okay, how much of this isn't mine? You just go, okay, that's my money. I get confused when my husband gets a bonus and I'm like, okay, so we get to keep all of that? And he's like, yeah, they already took taxes out before they gave it to me. I'm like, really? You don't have to do anything once you get the money? That's amazing. It's magic. Okay, Shell says you're paid monthly if you're self-pubbed, but 2 to 3 months behind the sale depending on the vendor. Yeah, so you'll get like December's money in March, but once you go through the whole year, then you're getting paid every month, just not for the stuff you just sold. And no taxes removed. Okay, thank you for confirming that. So yeah, even if you're self-pub and you don't have an agent, that's nice. You get your full amount aside what Amazon takes, and then you have to put the taxes aside. Please put the taxes aside. When I worked at Red Storm Entertainment, now Ubisoft, when Ubisoft bought Red Storm, a lot of us had stock options. And this was around the time stock options were starting to become a joke, but ours actually paid out. And they hired, our bosses hired a financial person to come in and say, you're going to get one check. You have to put money aside. Do not spend all of that money. The guy stood there and told us this. One of the guys bought a DeLorean. He bought a DeLorean. And I believe he was rather startled in the next year when he owed the government money. When they hired someone to come in and tell us, you have to do this with some of this money or you will regret it. It's like, cool car, dude, but come on. The guy just said it. He just said it. Anyway, it's not fun. There's nothing fun about this. This is possibly the least fun thing in this career. Did he keep the DeLorean? I think he did. I wasn't good enough friends with him to know much. Although I can't remember exactly what happened, but there was a hiccup with someone picking me up from the airport, and we worked really close to the airport, so somehow he was the one who picked me up. And I got to ride in the DeLorean once. And I remember almost nothing about it. I just remember the fact that he picked me up from the airport, and I appreciated that. Yes, he drove it. Yeah. So, it's not fun, and it's not... I was going to say it's not easy. It is pretty easy. It just takes discipline. And that's the hard part. It has not been fun for me to look at our budget and see this lump sum sitting aside, and I can't put that towards a vacation or a new refrigerator or something. That had to stay where it was. But it's important. As you start to make money doing this, please put it aside. And if you hire your own tax person, they'll probably be worth the money once you get multiple income streams. You might get, well, for example, I have Patreon, I have a couple of self-published books, and I have the whatever small checks I get from royalties and advances. So it's like when it's coming in from several places and you can write off your books and your travel and stuff, yeah, I am appreciative of our person, our accountant. So one more thing I want to talk about. This is a lot longer than I expected, but isn't that always the case? Anyway, back in the day, I want to say 2014, I was doing my MFA at the Stone Coast University of Southern Maine Stone Coast program, and I had a friend there who created a spreadsheet, and we called it the Magic Spreadsheet. We called it the Magic Spreadsheet because he fixed it to where you got points for consistency in writing, not in word count. So it's like your goal was to write 250 words a day just to start out with. And you input your daily word count, and if you go above, then you got points. And after a certain amount, you leveled up, which is great, except for the fact that now you need to do 300 words a day. And that was possibly the most regular I'd ever written in my life. I do want to say I fully believe in the fact that if writing every day doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. And there's nothing wrong with you at all because of it. I know there's a lot of people whose lifestyles or health will not support a writing every day habit. So I just want to put that out there. But for me, it was good to have that incentive. And I've never gotten that same kind of incentive ever again. And I've been thinking possibly to get it back. I might either contact Tony to ask him about the magic spreadsheet, if it's still alive and if I can use it. Or ask Valerie to make it, because Valerie knows spreadsheets. Is Valerie still around? You ran, didn't you? I would have run. Anyway, because I don't know spreadsheet magic. I don't. Sheets. So yeah, it's, and one thing that was fun is we did get a lot of I Should Be Writing listeners using the magic spreadsheet as well. We'll also offer my services. Making magic spreadsheets is literally my day job. Awesome, Starvin. Thank you. I'm kind of thinking that might be a fun incentive for people who really can't write every day. I'm not sure what routine would be beneficial to you. I like the magic spreadsheet, but I think it stopped being updated. Yeah, I think it did, Christian Writing. That's why I said I need to, get back in touch with Tony and see if he's done anything with it. Actually, I haven't talked to him in years, so that'd be nice catching up. Because everybody loves it when you catch up after years and your first thing is, can you do this for me? So maybe I'll just say hi. But, yeah, the magic spreadsheet was good for me. If you do have problems with the routine, I'm not sure what to tell you if you want to get a routine. If there's anybody who's managed to make not writing every day, but a routine that works for writing, let me know. Because I do want to support people who can't write every day, but are still dedicated to the craft because you want to be a writer and you don't have to write every day to do it. But for me, I'm not the kind of person that can taper off of something, because I never know what's the 6-year-old in my head will always take over and start going, well, if I'm allowed 1 glass of wine a night instead of 2, then I'll just have a big glass of wine. Or this is really good chocolate, so even though I'm not eating sweets, it's good for me. And Turbo Tango's rating with a party of 2. Hello, Turbo Tango. Mike, good to see you. Welcome. Thanks for rating. I am Mer Lafferty. This is I Should Be Writing. We're doing the more relaxed BarCon thing, and we've talked about Hugos and taxes, and now we're talking about routines. Yeah, and I was just saying that with a routine, I need to do it or don't do it. I can't sometimes do it. The cold turkey is best for me if I'm trying to not do something, and every day is good for me if I'm trying to do it, because missing one day just feels like the door's open, the dog's gonna get out. That's my metaphor for the day. I hope it worked for you. Talking about challenges with habits, routines, that's highly relevant to me. I am really interested, Mike, actually. I'm glad you came in, because I'm trying to be aware and supportive of people whose lifestyles or mental or physical health make writing every day impossible. Because I know that there's a lot of hackles that get raised when people are like, oh, to be a writer, you have to write every day. And someone's like, well, that's kind of ableist. Can you not? But for me, I think it's good to do that. I'm just trying to figure out how to tell people who maybe can't write every day what kind of routine or habit to get into to make writing when you can write a possibility. So that's what I'm talking about. I appreciate any thoughts you might have. Yeah, I hope you had a good stream. What were you playing? I think I saw you go live, but I was trying to get a whole bunch of things ready over here. Chocolate is a sauce made from nuts. Pesto is a sauce made from nuts. Chocolate sauce is pesto. That's healthy. Wow. I just take my hat off to those gymnastics. That's impressive. Chocolate grows on trees. Trees are plants. Plants make salad. So chocolate is salad. Nice. You joke, but my wife works in a cafeteria. The school board considers pizza a vegetable because it has tomatoes. Oh my god. Oh. Unbelievable. Wow. Yeah. Coffee is healthy bean soup. Yeah. I was playing Slay the Spire Downfall, a fan mod for Slay the Spire. Pretty cool. Awesome. Yeah, I started playing Inscription. Valerie told me you'd been playing it as well. I'm terrible at it. Tomatoes aren't even veggies. Yeah, Meerkat. Yeah. The funny thing is, Devo Spice, I'm pretty sure all the kids would agree with the school board. Something Becca Syme of Better Faster Academy recommended the idea of trying to attend to or think about your project every day, even if you can't write, which could be good for some people. I think the idea is to do some of the thinking work and keep the project fresh in your mind, even if you can't work on it in a different way. I knew Mike would help out with this. That is awesome. So you can, everybody knows oftentimes you fix writing problems when you're away from the piece, like when you're walking or getting exercise or doing something where your body is involved, like cleaning or driving, and your mind is not terribly involved. So that is really interesting. I think that's good. So if you are someone who just can't make writing every day a possibility because of a variety of completely legitimate reasons, think about it as do something for your work every day. Okay, Mike says you could open the manuscript and stare at it. You can chew on a problem. You can think about an upcoming scene. Think about world building. This is how I procrastinated at work. I think on my writing projects. Nice, Shauna. Yeah, sometimes I do a lot of character building when I'm away from the manuscript. Like looking for that one piece in a puzzle, if you stare at it until you go nuts and try to brute force it, almost never works and makes it unpleasant at best. Yes. Exactly. So that's great. If anybody has any other questions or comments about routines, tell them now or let me know in email, because I'm really trying to get it working for me, but not. I also want to be supportive of people who can't make an everyday habit happen. I have to keep a notebook with me. If I don't, I will forget something, no matter how good the idea is. Yep. That's true. My problem is reaching for any scrap of paper to get a thought down and then forgetting which paper I grabbed. Yeah, I'm not proud, but it's true. I made a bunch of spreadsheets that have varying tracking methods from time to weekly counts. Okay, cool. I use a notes app on my phone to track all those ideas. All right. Yeah, I might need to talk to you kids are asleep. I made a very rudimentary spreadsheet, but not one like the magic spreadsheet. I always lose the scraps of paper. Yeah, I did a great job, and I made little note cards for each of my characters to talk about who they are, what they have against the murder victim, what their motivation is, what their occupation was, and I lost them. So yeah. I also use phone app. My spreadsheets are sadly not magic. Yeah, my brain needs a pen to write down. My handwriting is wretched, but for some reason I have to be scribbling on something to get notes down. Computer just does not work for me. Yes, Christiane, I remember I saw one of hers like in the beginning of the year kind of thing. Do I keep a phone in reach, snap a picture of the note? That is a good point, Shale. Yeah, I do that for, like, we use the whiteboard on the fridge to keep track of what we need, and I usually just take a picture of it. I have more pictures of the grocery list on my fridge than, like, my child. But that's because I'm bad at taking pictures. Oh, thank you, Kids Are Asleep. We got a linkhaven.net link here. I'm going to click on that so I can hopefully remember to put it in the show notes. One rare trip for me, the few times I wrote one exercise I did, I'd think about how my characters would react to whatever chore or errand I was doing. It's fun sometimes and can prompt an idea of what should happen next based on the characters. I always I always revert back to a waiter spills ice water on a character in a restaurant. Because there are so many different ways different people will respond to that. Okay, Mike's been using Christy's spreadsheet this year too. Cool. Well, cool. I think I am out of steam and out of words to say. I need to message Summer about this episode. And we'll be back on Monday with Ursula Vernon as my co-host on Ditch Diggers. Should be fun. She won't be here. She does other things Monday nights and didn't want to drive all the way up here. I guess we're technically close compared to, most author friends of mine, but still it's like a 45-minute drive for her. So she's going to be at home and I'll be here. But we will bring you Ditch Diggers, and I'm still kind of weighing my Monday afternoon stream. I don't know if I'll have the time or the energy to continue that if I'm going to do Ditch Diggers at noon. We'll see. But I Should Be Writing is still 3 o'clock Eastern Time on Tuesday, Thursday, and I do gaming, which is now Inscription, at 3 o'clock on Wednesdays. That is me. You guys have been watching and or listening to I Should Be Writing. If you want to get in touch with me, mightymur@gmail.com is the best way. I'm mightymur on most social media apps. And you can email me, mightymur@gmail. Did I say that? Murverse.com, mightymur@gmail.com. I've said it so many times, I just don't even know. I have a Patreon you can support to help out. Patreon.com/mightymur. And I have a Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/mightymur. And I got merch store and check the blog and the show notes and stuff. You'll have merch store and the Twitch link and all sorts of stuff. Everybody's so sweet. Thank you guys. You guys are being so nice. Thank you, Christian Writing. I appreciate it. Yeah, you guys, you should be writing. Keep it up. Keep up the hard work. You're doing great. Bye. I Should Be Writing is available to you under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Theme music by John Anelio. Art by Numbers Ninja. Production by Summer Brooks. And hosting by Libsyn. Find all of this information and more at Murverse.com. And remember, we can't do this without you. Thanks for your support.
But I should be writing. I should be working on my craft. I should be writing. I should be submitting my next draft. But I'm sitting home watching Doctor Who. I'm sitting home watching Doctor Who.